22nd of March, I guess, India announced the lockdown. So as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, or as a technology innovator, the first challenge was when and how the new normal will cross and come back to the, or rather embrace new normal, better way to say it. তো প্রথম যেটা আমাদেরকে এফেক্ট করেছিল how the livelihood should come, and then what are the technology and how the technologies can embrace or rather solve the problems due to COVID that has come. তার মধ্যে ফার্স্ট এসেছিল হচ্ছে like how transportation, how industry, how even colleges, education institutes, everything, how those can be normalized. So naturally, all these technology innovations that came from a need of the hour. Even still, the need persists, and we really don't know when everything will be so normal and all. So definitely, there are a lot of use cases that came around, and a lot of new technology interventions, innovations has come across during last 1 year, probably which has not happened in last so many years in this technology area. And trust me, like, those solutions had to come in a very short period of time. So not all the solutions we have now or the innovations are time tested, but still we are going with that. Just quickly to take you through few examples, like how it started in few of the areas and how and what are the technology interventions was evolved, and it was a global phenomena. The first is started with the communication, because people are not been able to go to office or anywhere. So like how do they communicate? You have seen that technology interventions has changed or upgraded a way, uplifted in the communication area, be it web conferencing, be it digital, way of meeting each other. Lots of platforms you have heard, Zoom, lots. So that has now become a kind of, I would say, like, as good as, any normal meeting. In the recent development, there are some platforms which allows you to do a virtual event, and you really will not make out like, that's virtual. So with the green screen and all the technologies and those, real-time communication, audio, video and all, with the best quality, presentation, you will really not make out like that the speakers and the audience are really doing it digitally. So that was the first need. First few months, yes, that was the main disruptions. Then it come to the livelihood, because it was affecting, we are not knowing like where the COVID will go. The very first thing came in during that period, like, how some of the industries which are the need of that particular time had to uplift themselves. One case I can talk about was even happened from Bengal. The MSME sector, in whole India, that's one of the largest sector, and they employ lots of people. So the technology interventions in MSME happened. That time the manufacturing companies, they were doing some other things, but they had to change their facilities to manufacture PPE kits and sanitizer to survive. And now even they are continuing a lot. So that innovation, of course, is not very easy. Somebody had a setup and then quickly change of technology, training them, their existing employees, and getting to the level where they can now meet the local demand. And also now the situation is, even in Bengal, people are exporting it to other countries, this PPE kit. And this is happening all across the whole India. So those livelihood, there were cases in Fulia where they manufacture those sarees and all apparels. So they had a lot of challenges. Now how maintaining COVID, those things can be operated in a small cluster with maintaining the COVID norms, that those were analyzed. Then it came like how the colleges and universities had to open. So there was a big intervention, and we being a part of one global consortium called from UC Berkeley, called spm.berkeley.edu. You can Google Smart Pandemic Management Team of UC Berkeley. There was industry and university, as well as all experts, including World Bank. They were present there, some of the consultants. So this group had this was kind of a brainstorming group, where we evaluated a lot of technology need and all. So there we had tried to solve a lot of challenges, how to open the campuses, how to make a building safe, how to make the transportation safe. So one of the reflection that you have seen in the transportation area, that was the next challenge after we started reopening, how to get back to the normal communication, so that the commuters doesn't get affected by COVID with keeping the distances. So basically it is called crowd control. you'll see already, or maybe some of you have already faced, in Kolkata was probably the first city in the whole world, and has become a case study in the SPM website now, has implemented in Kolkata Metro a crowd control system which was e-pass based, QR code based, very easy, and which helped Metro to operationalize in Kolkata. In fact, this case study has become a kind of case study for a lot of universities already. And then we are implementing the similar thing in US as well as even in India to solve even multiple challenges of crowd control, like truck control in Port Trust, which is now being started and all. So another challenge in this same area was how you can have a safe campus so that the university students can come back to the campus and then start, again, like a normalcy. So their challenge was contract tracing. And there in this technology intervention, you must also notice there were a lot of technology, rather I would say policy technology fighting, rather I would say different school of thoughts of how you do it anonymously or non-anonymously in case of contract tracing and all. So those are detailed discussion. During the discussion it might come out. The idea is how you can alarm a person when based on his whereabouts and wherever the person is traveling, to suggest him or her that his chances of getting contact with a COVID affected person so that he can be quarantined or he can be at home for some time. So this is what is technically called contract tracing. There were a lot of interesting gamification had happened in campus to have this kind of solution. I give you an example. So in the campus, all the students, they go to cafeteria and all. So there was a small technology intervention of using Bluetooth. So whenever people are talking and also when they go, they just shake their mobile phone. So the moment they shake their mobile phone, all the people around there, so their data goes to the server anonymously. So we know that these many people are there in this room, but they were together. Individual names are not important, but identification, so that in case somebody of that group is affected, the rest of the person will be intimated. So even you see like global players like Apple and Google, they have already launched a contact tracing algorithm without disclosing the identity. So de-identified or non-anonymous way of contact tracing is a discovery in this COVID period, and which will not only being used for the COVID, but imagine in future in healthcare industry, in insurance industry, this de-identification yet identifying the person whenever required in case of a problem. This is another big innovation. The idea is, very very non-technical way. If I have to tell you, say you are going to market, movie hall, everywhere you go. But imagine you are again in touch with somebody who is now COVID affected. So you need to be informed. Nobody on earth knows that you are your name, your age, nothing. But you get a message in your mobile that yes, you be in quarantine for 10 days or 15 days. Imagine. So this is the idea. So why de-identification is not is required? Because this data is like, as per the GDPR rule in Europe and a lot of other countries, like, we should not reveal our identity and tracking information, yet I am informed. So these are the small innovations. There are lots of examples, and definitely our discussion will go on. I will share a few of our, whatever we have learned during this period. Yeah, but more or less this is an overview of what we did in the last, few months during the COVID in the technology area. Thank you. Yes, please.
COVID-19 has undeniably transformed the way we communicate and interact in a public ecosystem. As the world gets back to normal, the safety and social distancing norms will continue to be a priority. Public transport systems need to adopt a holistic focus on ensuring accountability for public health. Introducing Crowd Control for Transit, an artificial intelligence-driven cloud-based platform to monitor and control the crowd levels in public transport. It will make easy to analyze the real-time commuter demand and help optimize transit scheduling. So, how does it work? Commuters pre-book their travel using a mobile app or a browser or from any chatbots from Facebook, WhatsApp, etc. A color-coded e-pass is generated confirming their travel time slot. The e-pass allows a contactless verification and hassle-free entry into the public transport. And at the same time, the public transport providers can use this commuter's slot booking data to assess the peak hours, analyze the demand distribution across different routes, and make real-time decisions to optimize the transit operations. Crowd control by limiting transit occupancy levels as per the applicable social distancing norms. Deeper insights and control over demand fluctuations like peak office hours, festivals, and holidays. Public transport is the backbone of nearly every major city, and commuters of the post-COVID era deserve a safe and hygienic commute every day. Elevate your public transit to safe and hygienic travel using the power of AI, ML, helping public transport operators and the commuters with AI-powered smart solutions.
কলকাতা মেট্রো আপনারা জানেন যে এই প্যান্ডেমিকের সময় সম্ভবত পৃথিবীতে প্রথম আমরা বোধহয় একটা সিস্টেম ডিভাইস করলাম যেখানে অনেক মানুষকে একসঙ্গে যাতায়াত করতে না দিয়ে ফিজিক্যাল টিকিটটা না করে আমরা একটা সিস্টেম যেটা ডিভাইস করলাম সেটা হচ্ছে একটা অ্যাপের মাধ্যমে একটা পাস ইত্যাদি সেসব নিয়ে করা। সেই গল্পটাই আজকে শুনবো সরাসরিভাবে সুভাষিস বাবুর কাছে। সুভাষিস বাবু যদি আমাদের একটু বলেন।
When the metro railway started after 6 months of gap due to pandemic situation, the challenges we faced at the earlier stage was how to control the crowd. The COVID-related protocols were enforced and it was being telecasted live in the TV, what to do, what not to do. And the primary concern faced by us was how to control the crowd, because you might have seen the crowd jostling one after another in the metro premises for catching the train. And inside the train, such a huge crowd go inside the train. And while entering, while boarding, deboarding, there is commotion type of situation over there. Particularly at peak hours, the situation is quite horrible. You might be knowing that our metro trains have the capacity of carrying just like 1,500, 1,700 people at a time. But during peak hours, we used to carry 3,000 or more than 3,000 people. So such situation was very much concern to us, and we were facing stiff challenges how to control the crowd. During that time, some interaction and interactive sessions were held with the West Bengal government and police department, and we were deliberating how to do that, how to control the crowd. That time, Mr. Chatterjee and his innovative ideas were put forwarded by the West Bengal government, and particularly police department come forth with the ideas, and he brought the ideas before us that we have got some solutions, technological solutions. We can control the crowd, and based on the frequency of trains, based on the timetabling of trains, and based on the footfalls of the trains, it can be controlled in a very nicer technological way. That time when we did have first meeting with him, with Mr. Chatterjee, we were having some doubts that whether it can be achieved or not. And it was really a funny idea for us. We being the non-technical people over there, we were having some doubts that whether it could be done or not. But when we started our train services, precisely on 14th September like that, after 6 months of gap, we saw that really it was a very nice app, and managed to control the crowd in a very good measured way. And when the frequency was more, when the trains were running more, when headway is lesser, that time crowds were very nicely being managed, and we really had a sigh of relief. Although we took several measures, we did take several measures to control the crowd. We deployed the forces over there in the gate. We opened just 2 gates in a station, one for entry, one for exit. We put into place thermal scanning at gate. We used sensor-based sanitizer dispensing machines. What he had just told, that technological advancements in the COVID period, that was also I think advanced feature there. We haven't seen earlier sensor-based sanitizer dispensing machine, but during that pandemic, such type of things come in the market. We gave our staff face shields. We gave our staff washable aprons, gloves, and we supplied, all the stations were being supplied with the sanitizers and spray machines to sanitize all the spares of the station and all the spares, all the places which are frequently being touched. To manage the crowd before the booking counter, we did the marking for at a distance of 2 meter. Like that, several measures were taken. In the coach, we did the sanitization at the end stations, at the terminating, originating stations for every train, every coach. And inside the train, we did the cross marking for the public to sit one after another. One seat between two is kept vacant. Such measures were taken. And his innovative idea of the app helped us a lot. And it was being praised by everybody in India. When we started the train and we managed our operation quite nice way, I got phone from Madras, Chennai. One AGM from Chennai told me, please send your SOP, how you manage the crowd, how the app is working. We would also do such type of things at our Chennai local trains. So such was the hype created due to his very successful app-based technology. And one thing we also did, that we dispensed with the token. We did not issue token, we just issued the smart card. And smart card is also one innovation was there in the COVID period, that you can recharge your smart card through internet. Online recharging facility has been started. So you don't need to touch any article at the station or any machine at the station. You can online recharge the smart card. And the time being, we are not issuing tokens, we are only issuing smart card. And after gradual, when COVID protocols were relaxed, we too relaxed our protocols. And just now our e-pass system, which was started at that time, was gradually relaxed. Firstly, it was only put into force at the peak time, at the office time, and we dispensed with old people and female commuters were being exempted. But later on, we exempted everybody. And now, due to these protocols and due to the public used to the COVID-related regulations, self-regulations, we are nicely managing our day-to-day operations, and we are happy that we started in a very nice way, and it was being emulated and it was being praised by everybody in our metro and our railway administrations. And now it is being managed very nicely, and due to token is not issued, the crowd is naturally being controlled, and now it is almost 60% less crowd we are now having, and our earning has also fallen, but we are serving the Calcuttans and we are doing our operations in best way we can do.
After 175 days due to the COVID-19 lockdown, the Kolkata Metro started rolling on the 14th of September 2020. In the new normal situation, no tokens were issued. Instead, commuters had to show their smart cards and e-passes at the entry points of each station to secure a metro ride. The RPF personnel and Kolkata police were vigilant in checking the e-passes and smart cards at all these entry points. Commuters needed to pass through the thermal checks at the time of entry, and of course, all the COVID-19 protocols were maintained, including rigid and stringent sanitization.
অনেকদিন পর মেট্রো পাওয়াতে আমাদের একটু সুবিধাই হয়েছে বইকি, কারণটা হচ্ছে যে মেট্রোটা একটা মেইন সোর্স অফ ট্রান্সপোর্টেশন। সমস্ত রকম সুযোগ সুবিধাই রয়েছে, স্যানিটাইজেশন থেকে শুরু করে। আর আগেই ওরা বলেছিল যে পথদিশা.com, সেটা দিয়ে আমরা স্লট বুক করে আমাদের ঢুকতে হবে।
এখান থেকে টালিগঞ্জ অব্দি যদি বাসে যেতে যে পরিশ্রমটা বাসে লাগে, সেখানে মেট্রোতে খুব কম টাইমে তাড়াতাড়ি পৌঁছানো যায়। প্যাসেঞ্জারটার জন্য খুব একটা স্বস্তির ব্যাপার যে এই করোনার মতো তাড়াতাড়ি একটু সেফলি যাওয়া যাবে একটা জায়গায়। হ্যাঁ, এখন যা পরিস্থিতি হয়েছে আমরা সেটার সাথে কোপ আপ করে চলতে হবে, তো তার জন্য যে প্রসিডিওরটা চলছে এটা একদম পারফেক্ট।
8-8.5 साल से मैं मेट्रो में ही जा रहा था, तो अचानक बंद हो जाने से तो बहुत मुसीबत में पड़ा था, ब्रेक करके करके जाना पड़ रहा था। तो अब जब शुरू हुआ तो हम लोग को तो ये फ़ायदा तो ज़रूर हुआ। जितना जल्दी हो सके ये नॉर्मल सी होने से सबको ही फ़ायदा पड़ेगा।
খুবই কথা ভালোই হলো, ওরা যা ব্যবস্থা করেছে খুবই ভালো। এটা যদি মেনটেন করতে পারে তাহলে মনে হয় মেট্রো যাতায়াত করতে কারো অসুবিধা হওয়ার কথা না, কোনো ভয়ের কিচ্ছু না। মেট্রো একদমই ফাঁকা ছিল এবং লোকে নিয়মবিধি মেনেই উঠেছে এবং পুলিশও খুব ভালো সামলেছে। ই পাস করতে কোনো অসুবিধা হয়নি।
नहीं, कोई मुश्किल नहीं हुआ। एक ऐप्स इंस्टॉल किए और इजीली मैं टिकट बुकिंग कर ली।
বুঝে গেলাম ব্যাপারটা, তারপর তো আসার পথে অফিস থেকে জেনারেট করছি যে চলে আসছে। আমরা স্মার্টফোন সবাই ব্যবহার করি, আমরা মনে হয় কিছুদিনের মধ্যে সবাই এতে অভ্যস্ত হয়ে যাব।
মেট্রো কর্তৃপক্ষ যা করেছে ওদের পক্ষে আমার মনে হয় এটাই ম্যাক্সিমাম, ওরা এর চেয়ে বেশি কিছু করতে পারে। আর মানুষ কীভাবে এটাকে মেনে চলবে তার উপর ডিপেন্ড করছে পরবর্তীকালে মেট্রো সফরটা মানুষের কতটা সিকিওর।
Since 4-5 months we were having so much a problem, and we were traveling through buses, and in buses still there is no social distancing maintained. So today I am very much happy that this metro has opened, it has resumed its services, and I am feeling very good. The best part is this, that the fare is exactly the same, it has not increased. So this is the best part and I am very happy to that.
মেট্রো ছাড়া কলকাতা চলে না, মেট্রো চাই। যে পদ্ধতিতে চলছে খুব ভালো সিস্টেম চালু হয়েছে, ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করা হয়েছে।
মানে যেভাবে বাসে ট্রামে আমরা যখন যাতায়াত করি তখন হয়তো ভালো করে স্যানিটাইজ করি না, বা আমরা হয়তো একটা গ্যাপ মেনটেন করে বসি না, তো গ্যাপ মেনটেনটা এখানে সেটা যথাযথ উপায়ে হচ্ছে।
আমি মেট্রো রেলওয়েকে আমার আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ এবং কৃতজ্ঞতা জানাচ্ছেন। সাধারণ প্যাসেঞ্জার হিসেবে আমরা কৃতজ্ঞ, মেট্রো নতুনভাবে শুরু হয়েছে, মানুষের জীবন অপরিহার্য। মেট্রো রেল তো কলকাতাবাসীর কাছে অপরিহার্য।
मेट्रो तो वही है, लेकिन आज के दिन जो सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग मेंटेन हो रहा है यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। और कम से कम आज के दिन कलकत्ते में मेट्रो के बिना जिंदगी को सोचना बहुत मुश्किल है।
Avail the metro and stay safe.
আমার নাম কৌশিক। মেট্রো পরিষেবা শুরু হওয়াতে ভালোই লাগছে, বা দেখতে হবে এখন পরিষেবাটা কতটা স্মুথ হয়, এটাই দেখার ব্যাপার। সোশ্যাল ডিস্টেন্সিং আপাতত ভালো মেনটেন আছে, বা দেখতে হবে যে আগামী দিনে কী হয়।
হ্যালো, আমার নাম হলো সৈন্দ্রী সেন, অ্যান্ড আমি প্রথম মেট্রোতে চড়ছি এই খোলার পরে। খুবই ভালো লাগছে, আর খুব ভালোভাবে ওরা অর্গানাইজ করেছে, স্যানিটাইজ করা, জেনারেটিং ই পাস, খুব সিস্টেম্যাটিক অ্যান্ড ভেরি ওয়েল অর্গানাইজ। দ্যাট ইজ ভেরি গুড ফিলিং, ভেরি কনভিনিয়েন্ট, বিকজ আমার অফিস পার্ক স্ট্রিটে খুব অসুবিধা হচ্ছিলো, তো ইটস ভেরি কনভিনিয়েন্ট। থ্যাংক ইউ।
তো আমরা যে ছবিগুলো এখন দেখলাম সেগুলো ঠিক লকডাউনের পরে পরে যে যে অবস্থায় আমরা মেট্রোকে দেখেছিলাম, এখন কিন্তু ভিড়টা অনেকটা বেড়েছে। তো সুভাষিস বাবু, এখন কিভাবে সামলানোর কথা ভাবছে মেট্রো? আদৌ কি সেই লেভেল অফ কশাস যেটা ছিল সেইটা ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করতে কি, আর কিভাবে অ্যাওয়ারনেস করছেন বা কিভাবে করছেন যদি একটু বলেন।
দেখুন, টাইম টু টাইম প্রোটোকল চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে। তো মিনিস্ট্রি অফ হোম অ্যাফেয়ার্স আর WHO এদের যা গাইডলাইন আসে টাইম টু টাইম, নিউ নর্মালে যে গাইডলাইনগুলো এসেছে সেগুলো আমরা ফলো করছি। এখন গ্র্যাজুয়ালি অফিসগুলো খুলে গেছে, সিনেমা হল খুলে গেছে, থিয়েটার খুলে গেছে, পাবলিক গ্যাদারিং বাড়ছে, স্কুলও হায়ার সেকেন্ডারি মানে হায়ার ক্লাসেসগুলো খুলেছে। তো এখন যা আমাদের গাইডলাইন আসছে সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্টের থেকে, আমরা সেগুলোকে ফলো করছি। এখন আমাদের সব স্টেশনে যে আগে একটা গেট ঢোকার জন্যে, একটা এন্ট্রির জন্য, একটা এক্সিটের জন্য ছিল, সেরকম সিচুয়েশন এখন নেই। এখন আমরা প্রায় সব গেটই খুলে দিয়েছি। এবং আগে যে আমাদের ওই পথদিশা অ্যাপ থেকে যে ক্রাউড কন্ট্রোল করছিলাম সেটা নেই, এখন সেটা উঠিয়ে দিয়েছি। গাড়ি আমরা এখন 240, মানে আমরা যে শুরু করেছিলাম 110টা সার্ভিস দিয়ে, সেটা এখন আমরা 240 করে দিয়েছি। এবং আমরা মোস্ট প্রবাবলি 22-23 তারিখ থেকে দক্ষিণেশ্বর চালু করতে চলেছি। তো দক্ষিণেশ্বর যখন চালু করব তখন আমরা 244 গাড়ির মতন চালাবো আমরা সার্ভিস।